My name is Simon Miller. I work as an editor and I mainly edit movies, but sometimes I edit other stuff like YouTube videos and such. Sometimes I get weird requests like editing a weird indie movie, or weird game shows that are mostly just people doing disgusting things. I have never experienced anything as terrifying or horrible as what I have experienced today, and I don't know if I should be telling you about this, but I will because I must share this because I will go crazy if I don't. Last night around 7:30 p.m. I was in a bar with some friends when I got an email from a person that was going under the name of John Doe. I found that suspicious because that obviously wasn't their name. I opened the message, and this is what the email said. Dear Mr. Miller, I have been looking for an editor for one of my movies for a long time, and you, Mr. Miller, are the perfect one for my work. My movie might be a little out of the ordinary, but that isn't anything to worry about. I am willing to pay $250,000 for this film, and of course, I am open to negotiations. I was astounded. I have never gotten that much money for any of the films I have edited. The most I have ever gotten was $25,000 for one weird artsy flick. This was amazing for me because I haven't had any work in a long time, and this much money would have changed my life for the better. I should have realized that this was a red flag, because if I hadn't taken that job, I would have been free of the nightmares that I will experience for the rest of my life. So, I stayed at the bar for another 30 minutes, and I came back home. I sat down in front of my computer and wrote back to the guy. Dear Mr. Doe, I am willing to take that job for the price you mentioned in your email. Please send me everything you need me to edit. He replied almost instantly. Dear Mr. Miller, that's wonderful news. I have attached all the scenes to this email. Once I see the movie in its full glory, I'll send you the money we agreed upon. Once again, I want to remind you that this movie is out of the ordinary, and you might think it's a little weird, but don't worry, just keep thinking about what you'll do with the money once you get it. I thought that the last half of the message was very weird, but I guess that the beers I had an hour ago were thinking for me, so I downloaded the scenes and put them all into Premiere Pro. When I started editing the scenes, I realized that every single one was at least 8 hours long. I thought that was extremely bizarre because this movie was only supposed to be 80 minutes long. I started skimming through the scenes, and the only thing that was on it was video camera footage of a chair in the middle of a room. There was blood all over the floor and something that looked like creepy-looking red eyes staring at me in the corner of my screen. I got so freaked out that I closed the program immediately, but the eyes were burned into the monitor. I realized that I was probably just being stupid and that it was just a movie and that I couldn't possibly be real. I opened Premiere again and put the scenes back into the program and started skimming through them again. I got back to where I was before and let the scene play. I could have sworn that the eyes were staring right at me, and whenever I moved or looked someplace else, I felt them looking at me. I got to the 1 hour and 23-minute mark when I saw something I could never unsee again. The red-eyed creature crawled out of its dark corner, crawling on its back and its spine being twisted and turned. It looked so disgusting that I feel the need to puke just thinking about it. It crawled to the middle of the room, stood up, and staring at me and pointing to the chair. I wanted to look away, but I just couldn't. I tried with all my power, but some weird force kept me glued to the screen. That's when it spoke. This is your place, Simon. It started pointing to the chair, and I tried to close the program, but I couldn't move. I felt trapped. Then something happened that shook me to my core. Something walked in. At first, I couldn't tell what it was because its face was deformed. It sat on the chair, and that's when I realized what it was. It was me, a deformed version of me. I couldn't stop looking, and that's when the thing spoke again. This is where you belong, and you will be here shortly. I started thinking I was insane, that someone had spiked my drink, or that I was hallucinating or something. And then, I started feeling lightheaded and I passed out on my desk. I woke up in a dark warehouse or something like that. There were no windows, and the only thing I could see was the creature's red eyes staring at me. I tried to yell, but I just couldn't. Something was stopping me. I felt terrified, I didn't know what to do. The only thing I could think about was who that guy that messaged me was and why did he do this. The creature was staring at me, and every single time I looked away it was closer to me. I decided that I would just look away and let it get me, because either way it would attack me. I looked away and started thinking about my family, and I hoped that I was the only one of them that was experiencing this horrible nightmare. I waited for a while, and nothing happened. I looked back at where the creature was, but I couldn't see it. I was relieved. I thought I was safe now, and I tried to stand up, and to my surprise, I could. I was happy and I thought I was free. I started walking up to something that I thought was a door when I walked up to it. I got attacked by the creature. I don't know what it did to me, but I saw and felt things that I have never seen or felt. I didn't know what was happening to me. I didn't know if I felt pain or euphoria. I saw things like colors I have never seen before. I don't remember anything that happened after that. I only remember singular images of other things I have seen in this state, like as if I was dreaming. I didn't know what happened, but I'm glad it's over because I didn't like what I was feeling. It didn't feel good nor bad, it's just something I couldn't explain. After that experience, I started to feel normal again. I woke up from whatever happened to me back in the warehouse, but this time it was different. I knew that it was over now. My eyes slowly started to close. I tried to resist it, but I couldn't. I woke up on a bench in New York with a wallet that wasn't mine that had a check for $250,000 in it and a note that said thank you. I don't know what happened to me, but I hope that nobody else will ever have to experience this.